Hey guys, happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of Blog Friday. This week we were supposed to pick three of our favorite books and talk about who we would want as a literary husband if we could pick one. And I'm actually going to cheat because I've picked four books and two different husbands. Four books because I don't like odd numbers, and then two husbands because when I told B who I wanted, he said that it didn't count because I only liked him because of a movie. So I guess I'll just share all of it. Alright, so knowing books and reading books is really my job. Since I teach English and I teach literacy, I constantly have to read to keep up with my students and be able to really recommend books for a lot of struggling readers who aren't necessarily into it all the time. So I kind of pride myself on being in the know of what they like to read and what books might be good for certain people. So I constantly have a flow of books going in and out, and I like to read before bed and stuff like that. And when my kids ask me how much I read, I can't lie to them, so I really do have to read. My all-time favorite book thus far, because there's always room for exceptions, is The Time Traveler's Wife. And I only picked it up because I got excited that there was going to be a movie and somebody had recommended it to me, and I went, oh, I should read the book, because I always like to read the book before I see a movie. And so I picked it up when I went to go visit B when he and I were both in grad school, and I think I ended up reading it in probably 3 days, just because it was that good. It was hard to put down. I lugged it with me everywhere, including going on dates with B. He was very accommodating that way. He and I both live on books like they're crack. I mean, this is just one of our bookshelves. We've got 2 or 3 more in our dining room. Our future house definitely needs to have a library and possibly a librarian to keep it all put together. But if you haven't read The Time Traveler's Wife, don't go looking at the movie first. Don't do it. I wasn't all that impressed with the movie. I'm sure some people were, but compared to the book, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. There's also a big difference between what happens in the book and what happens in the movie, and the back and forth in this book is so much better, and really gives both perspectives pretty well, and really brings up some questions about, you know, what would you do if you were in that situation, if it were at all possible. One of my favorite books to recommend to struggling readers is the Runaway series, and yes, it is in fact, it's very well loved, since some of the pages are kind of in poor shape, but it's a graphic novel, and I know a lot of people look at that and go, well, that's not reading, but it is actually a skill to be able to read people's expressions in photos and in pictures. So not only am I getting a kid to pick up a book and be able to read the dialogue, but they also have to infer what's going on with the characters and see their faces and just what's going on the page. They have to do a lot of inferring, which is a key skill. So I like to recommend that one. This one also, because I recommended it to a certain student last year and he really liked it, and it was the first set of books that he liked since probably forever, he became kind of a fan of me, and ultimately he was the one who turned in another student who stole $40 out of my wallet. So if it keeps kids on the good side and they want to tell on people when they steal stuff from teachers just because I recommend good books, I'm all for it. One of my most favorite young adult ones that's kind of higher up in level would definitely be The Disreputable History of Frankie Landau Banks by E. Lockhart. So good. B got this one for me because he likes to add to my library of young adult literature every Christmas, and I had never heard of it before, and it's just absolutely amazing. It's about this girl, and she goes to a prep school in Andover, Massachusetts, And if you know anything about the Andover area, there are lots of prep schools, and it's kind of known for being that kind of region. And she wants to get into this all boys club and wants to really know more about it. And a teacher kind of pushes her along with kind of the knowledge that we all act in a certain way because we feel like people are watching us even when they aren't. So she decides to try to live her life in a way that she doesn't think people are watching her, and she ends up finding this secret boys society and tries to break into it. So it's really, really good, really well written, and has a huge vocabulary. So it's definitely one to push if you want to either expand yours or to help somebody along with theirs. And then finally, this is a series that I cannot put down for the life of me. The Percy Jackson series. I know it sounds weird that a 24-year-old woman is recommending this, but it is amazing. Rick Riordan actually started writing adult novels, and he decided to do a children's book, and then it turned into the whole series about Percy Jackson. And again, don't watch the movie. All of my students hated the movie, so don't watch that. But Percy Jackson is a demigod. He's half human, half god. His father is one of the big three, and he's in danger because apparently after World War II, all of the big three gods got together and said they wouldn't have any more mortal children, and then all of a sudden couples start popping up and they have children, and they're supposed to be kept secret, but the whole premise is that monsters can find them because they can sense that they have this Greek heritage. So it's all about his adventures and trying to figure out who he is and you know what his relationship with his father is like. So it's really cool, really good coming of age, really funny and wittily written. I think wittily is a word. We'll make it a word. It's fine. But just really well done overall. Okay. And now that you've seen my book collection, those are just only 4 that I chose to pick off the bookshelf. I have tons of other favorites. But for husbands, not that I would ever want to replace my husband, but if I had to jump into a book and he wasn't a character, I would definitely pick Oliver Wood to be my husband. Who's Oliver Wood? He was in Harry Potter. He was the captain of the Quidditch team for Gryffindor the first year that Harry played, and B said it doesn't count that I picked him because I only like him because he was from the movie and it gave him a face, and I really like the actor who played him, but I don't care. He would be my first choice. Look at the photo below. Isn't he hot? You're welcome. And then if he doesn't count, my second choice would definitely be Ron Weasley. And I just have this thing for red hair and freckles, and I secretly hope that if B and I have kids, they come out with red hair and freckles, because not that I would find my own kids hot, but you know what I'm saying. I just find Ron to be the right mixture of kind of dorky, but funny and sincere, and, you know, just a really good overall good human being. I feel like with Harry Potter, he would be too high maintenance, and, you know, it would be this way and that way, and he's too into fame, or he's too not into fame, or he has Voldemort chasing him, and no, I don't want any of that. I want a nice life with somebody else who has red hair and freckles, so I'll take Ron Weasley. Sign me up. Thanks. Or, strangely enough, the older version of Neville Longbottom. Yeah, maybe. Something to think about. But I feel like older characters from kind of more classic books wouldn't like how outspoken I am for a woman, and if they had to come into this time period, they would have a problem with that, so I'm not even going to mess with them. And then Romeo, he killed himself. I don't need that kind of drama in my life. So those are the people that I would choose to marry in some of my favorite books. Make sure that you comment below so that I can watch your vlog, and have a fantastic week. Wish my drama kids good luck at the competition. I'll see you next week. Bye.